Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Gamer. In this video today guys we are going to be looking at Doom Eternal Battle Mode. In particular the Archvile and its gameplay. So guys, in my personal opinion the Archvile comes in directly in the middle between the two hardest and the two easiest classes to play. From hardest to easiest, I would say the Pain Elemental, then the Marauder, then the Archvile, then the Revenant, and then the Mancubus, in that order. The Archvile comes in the middle for a few reasons. One, it sends out projectiles, like most of the classes, but you have the ability to teleport as well, and you get a pretty good loadout being able to fire out a Hell Knight and a Carcass. Also, the Archvile has its own AoE and its own shielding ability. So, what you're going to want to do, guys, is when you're playing as this character, you want to keep yourself on the move. I would say the Archvile overall is fairly fragile, especially compared to something like the Mancubus or even the Revenant, which is much more agile. This demon is capable of being fairly offensive, and it can hold its own in a good fight. This Slayer was actually pretty good. He wasn't too bad at all. You want to use your fire shield that you just seen there, along with some of the perks that you can use throughout the match. This shield is going to save you a lot of trouble in the future. You want to be quite tactical with the Archvile. I would say whenever there is a tight space, fire up a shield and also maybe fire up your AoE, your fire carpet as I like to call it, and this will do pretty good damage. If you can actually blast it in one end and then fire up the fire shield in the other end of a tight spot, such as a corner of the battle mode map, you can basically make it so that the Slayer has to get damaged either way, which is quite good. You can also use the shield to protect yourself from the Doomslayer's offensive capabilities. As you can see, we won that round. We done not too badly. I managed to survive through most of the match, but the other guy that was playing as a Marauder, I don't know his gamer tag unfortunately, but shout outs to him either way. He done pretty good because, as I said, the Marauder is a fairly difficult demon to play as. So, like I say, you want to use the Carcass a fair bit, I would say, because the Carcass is going to irritate the Doomslayer and is going to provide an extra shield for you. And the Hell Knight is pretty good for putting pressure on the Slayer. Later on in the video, actually, we put pretty good pressure on the Slayer. As you can see there, a very well placed down AoE, and I done considerable damage to the Slayer, which is quite good. You can also use the teleport ability, if you're very careful with it, to skip clean over things like flame hazards that can affect demons, such as lava and other such things. You can also use the teleporting ability that the Archvile has to climb up into other areas and to quickly maneuver yourself out of danger. This is basically like a manual dodge in effect. On Xbox you would press LT, and for something like the Revenant you would press B to dash. And as you see again, we take down the Slayer. This is the second round that I've taken down the Slayer myself, and I went for the Fire Specialist. Now the Fire Specialist will actually make it so that flame walls will make the Doomslayer's projectiles or rounds bounce back. So this is why it's really good, because you can then have that along with a Carcass. You can actually possibly block off up to 2 areas, either trapping a Slayer or giving yourself a small stronghold. As far as I'm aware, the two characters that I was, or people that I was playing with, were actually both level 16, so I've got a little bit more experience than both of these people combined. And obviously since the new DLC has come out, there have actually been quite a lot of new players, so it's actually made battle mode very, very interesting. Now when it comes to using the Archvile's projectile or standard attack, what you really want to do is the farther away you are, the more likely you are going to have to actually predict the movements of the Slayer. So if you're particularly far away and you fire at the Slayer, he doesn't need to move very far to actually remove this. So what you want to do is figure out where the Slayer is actually going and fire at where he's going to be as opposed to where he is. This is one of the key aspects to playing as the Archvile. For me, I would say that the Archvile is a 6 out of 10 for playability. I do enjoy playing as him. I do enjoy the look of the Archvile, even though you only get to see his hands if you're actually playing as him. But overall, yes, a 6 out of 10 for playability. You do have to sort of train with it more often. It's not like using the Mancubus or the Revenant, where mobility is different. It's sort of a hybrid between, I would say, the Mancubus's general slowness, but also the maneuverability of a Revenant. So as you can see, once you start putting pressure on the Slayer, you can do pretty good. You know, this Marauder, he's doing not too bad. He's keeping the pressure on the Slayer. He's not backing down, he's going straight for it, which is really, really good. I personally am not particularly good at playing as a Marauder. It's probably the one class that I'm not particularly fond of. I'm okay with the Meatball, as we like to call him in the Doom community. He's not too bad to deal with. So as you can see, we ended up getting another victory. Well guys, if you like my work and you want to see more, please like, share and subscribe. This has been Crypto Gamer. Have a good evening.